Okay, we're moving it up even one more level. So now our equations, when we start, look a little bit more complicated. We're going to have multiple terms with x, or we're going to have lots of numbers in them, parentheses. We're going to need to clean things up, distribute and combine like terms before or in the process of solving for x. So let's take a look at some examples. Here's our first one. 3 times the quantity x plus 2 minus 5x equals 0. So we want to be thinking about our order of operations. And the first thing that we can do here is clear the parentheses. So we're going to distribute to do that. 3 times x gives us 3x, and 3 times a positive 2 will give us a plus 6, minus 5x equals 0. Now we're going to look for like terms that we can combine. 3x and a negative 5x combined to a negative 2x, plus 6 equals 0. And now it looks pretty familiar. We're going to solve for x, meaning we get x by itself on one side of the equation. So we need to move the 6, so we're going to subtract 6 from both sides. Leaves us with negative 2x equals negative 6. We want to undo the multiplication with division. So we're going to divide both sides by negative 2. And that gives us x equals negative 6 divided by negative 2 will give us a positive 3. Now, we're going to check that because we always want to check and make sure we have not made any mistakes. So we're going to do 3 times 3 plus 2. We're going to subtract 5 times 3. And there's the 3 that we just solved for, that we subbed back in for x. And we're going to see if it works. So again, we have to follow order of operations. We're going to work inside the parentheses first. That's going to give us 3 times 5 minus 5 times 3. 15 minus 15, it equals 0. And that's what we needed it to be. And so our solution checks. And we know that x is, in fact, equal to positive 3. Let's try another example. First, we have 3 times the quantity x minus 5 equals 4 times the quantity x plus 9. So hopefully you recognize that the first step is going to be to distribute and clear the parentheses on both sides of the equation. So on the left side, 3 times x will give us 3x. And 3 times a negative 5 is a minus 15. Watch your signs. Equals 4 times x is 4x, and 4 times a positive 9 is plus 36. So now we're going to gather all of our x terms on one side of the equals and all the numbers that don't have an x on them on the other side. So I'm going to move this 4x by subtracting it from both sides. Now I have negative x minus 15 equals 36. And I'm going to move the minus 15 by adding 15 to both sides. And now I have negative x will equal 51. And I need a positive x, so I will divide by negative 1 on both sides. And now the negative signs will cancel on the left. And I get x equals a negative 51. So again, we want to check that, make sure it's correct. So we're going to plug that negative 51 into our equation for x. So that means we're going to have 3 times negative 51 minus 5. And we want to know if that is the same thing as saying 4 times negative 51 plus 9. See the negative 51? We just subbed it in for x. So now we're going to do some arithmetic. Inside the parentheses, we're going to get a negative 56. We're going to multiply that by 3. And on the other side of the equation, inside the parentheses, we're going to get a negative 42. So 3 times negative 56 will be a negative 168. And 4 times negative 42 will also be negative 168. So we get equality, which means x does in fact equal negative 51. Let's try one more model here. So we're going to take a look at this equation. 11x, nothing we can do to that. But now we see we have 6 times the quantity, 3 minus x, so we're going to distribute the 6. 6 times 3 is 18, and 6 times negative x will give us a minus 6x equals 3. And now we're going to look for like terms and see what we can combine. We have a positive 11x and a negative 6x. Those combine to a positive 5x plus 18 equals 3. And we will subtract 18 from both sides. 5x equals negative 15. And to solve for x, we're going to undo the multiplication with division. So we're going to divide both sides by 5. And x equals negative 15 divided by positive 5 would give us a negative 3. And finally, we're going to check that just to make sure we haven't made any mistakes with our arithmetic or our signs. So we're going to do 11 times that negative 3 plus 6 times 3 minus that negative 3. 11 times negative 3 is negative 33, plus 6, we're going to work inside the parentheses, and 3 minus a negative 3, that becomes 3 minus a negative, turns into a plus. 3 plus 3 is 6. So we have negative 33 plus 36. If we add those two together, we get a positive 3, and that's what it equaled. So it checks, and our answer is, in fact, x equals negative 3. Now, your turn. Here are 3 equations. You need to solve them, and you need to check them. And if your check doesn't work, that means you need to go back, resolve the problem, and make sure that you're watching your signs and your addition and subtraction as you go through it. Good luck.